What if the missing piece to a team's revival was hiding in plain sight, and it just happened to come from the very squad that handed them a crushing defeat? That's exactly the storyline unfolding in Washington, where the Commanders, still reeling from a Week 2 loss, have turned to a familiar face in hopes of rewriting their narrative. Enter Preston Smith, the former Green Bay Packers pass-rushing standout, who now returns to the team where it all began. Is this a bold stroke of genius or a desperate gamble? Either way, the NFL world is paying attention. Packers dominate while Commanders search for answers. The Green Bay Packers have opened the season on fire, making back-to-back opponents look like practice squads. Their 27-13 dismantling of the Detroit Lions in Week 1 was followed by a commanding 27-18 victory over the Commanders in Week 2. Jordan Love looked comfortable, the defense suffocated Washington's offense, and the Packers sent a loud message to the rest of the NFC. They're serious about a deep postseason run. For Washington, though the loss cut deeper than just the scoreboard, their inability to generate consistent offensive rhythm, and more importantly, to close out defensive opportunities, exposed glaring weaknesses. The Lions were able to respond to their own Week 1 setback by pummeling the Bears. Now, all eyes are on how the Commanders will respond against the Raiders in Week 3, signing Preston Smith. Could be their spark, Preston Smith's journey. From Washington to Green Bay and back again, Commanders fans may remember Smith as their second-round pick back in 2015, a promising edge rusher who flashed potential. But it was in Green Bay where his career truly took off. Smith exploded for 12 sacks in 2019, and across 5.5 seasons, he racked up 44 sacks, terrorizing quarterbacks and establishing himself as one of the league's more reliable pass rushers. His tenure in Green Bay ended abruptly. Not because of lack of production, but due to scheme changes under defensive coordinator Jeff Hafley. Feeling like he didn't fit the system, Smith requested a trade and landed in Pittsburgh last November. Though he logged 2 sacks in 8 games with the Steelers, his offseason was quiet. He waited, watching for the right call. That call came not from just any team, but from the one he used to wear the uniform of. Right after they'd been embarrassed by his former squad, Washington's defensive dilemma, the Commanders aren't struggling to generate pressure. In fact, their 20.3% pressure rate ranks 14th in the league, and against Green Bay, they hurried Jordan Love on nearly half his dropbacks. The problem? They're not finishing plays. Through 2 weeks, Washington sits tied for 16th with only 4 sacks. That inability to close out drives is exactly what Preston Smith was brought in to fix. Smith brings versatility. He can line up inside or off the edge, giving Washington new wrinkles in their pass rush scheme. His signing is more than just a roster move. It's a statement that the Commanders are unwilling to be passive after a tough loss. And in classic NFL fashion, the storyline couldn't be juicier. Washington signing a former Packer in hopes of strengthening the very area Green Bay exposed. The revenge game. Factor football is as much about narrative as it is about strategy. Smith's return to Washington carries an unspoken revenge game undertone. He left under different circumstances, built his reputation elsewhere, and now returns with a chance to prove he still has plenty left in the tank. It's almost poetic that his signing came directly after the Packers dominated his new team. If Washington meets Green Bay again later this season, that matchup could be fueled by more than just playoff implications. It could be personal. What's next? The Raiders loom as Washington's Week 3 opponent, and it's a pivotal test. Can Smith's presence ignite a struggling defense and set the tone for the rest of the season? Can the Commanders shake off back-to-back disappointments and show they're more than just another team caught in Green Bay's path to glory? If you're fired up about how this bold move could reshape the Commanders' season, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe for more NFL breakdowns, and drop your thoughts in the comments. Do you believe Preston Smith is the missing piece, or just a short-term patch? Let's hear it.